50 years to the day at 9:15 a.m, a Welsh community was torn apart. And at 9:15 this morning, a community and a nation remembers one of the worst disasters in Welsh and British modern times. In 1966, the coal industry was still booming in South Wales. The local colliery had been dumping waste onto Mynydd Merthyr above the village of Aberfan for some time. But days of heavy rain in mid-October turned that waste into slurry. And on the morning of the 21st, a subsidence caused that slurry to come crashing down like an avalanche into the village.
When the coal tip at Aberfan near Merthyr Tydfil slid forward, engulfing an infant school and a row of houses.
Bearing the brunt of the damage was Pantglas Junior School. Sitting next to the window as a child when disaster struck was David Davis.
My body was brought out and initially placed with those that had died and been covered in a blanket until someone said that they thought they saw my foot move. So I was re-examined and evidently a sign of life still there.
116 children died, along with 28 adults. Had the slurry hit hours later, the school would have been empty. It was the last day of term. Hundreds came to join the rescue efforts, many from collieries across South Wales. One of the first on the scene was policewoman Yvonne Price, who suffered with PTSD due to the tragedy.
When we were passing the dead children through, one man just looked down and just turned and looked at me and he said, "That was my child." Oh. It was one of the worst things, and he just carried on working.
In the immediate aftermath, locals demanded to know why this had happened. They had raised repeated concerns about the tipping. Was it a terrible accident or a preventable man-made catastrophe? A tribunal was set up to inquire why and how this disaster had happened. Lasting 76 days, it was the longest of its kind at the time, with over 100 people interviewed and 300 exhibits examined. Its findings were that this tragedy was in fact avoidable, with the blame resting entirely on the National Coal Board. To this day, that event has had a resounding impact on this community.
The tragedy has shaped the community indelibly and shaped the lives of everybody affected by it, everybody closely affected by it, the children and their parents, and even people a good deal further away from it.
Gas struck above ground.
Destruction and devastation which should have been avoided. But 50 years on, this current generation remembers the generation that was lost. And a community that was shattered will never forget. Thomas Morgan, BBC News, Aberfan.